both before and after he took office. And he had repeatedly told me I was doing a great job, and he hoped I would stay. And I had repeatedly assured him that tonight, when I learned that I had been fired, that they actually fired me because of the Russia investigation.
That the Department of Justice not pursue criminal charges.
All statements. Think about it.
But why didn't you stop and say, Mr. President, this is wrong. I cannot discuss this with you?
It's a great question. Maybe if I were stronger, I would have. I was so stunned by the conversation that I just took it in. And the only thing I could think to say, because I was playing in my mind, because I was going to remember every word he said, I was playing in my mind, what should my response be? And that's why I very carefully chose the words. And look, I've seen the tweet about tapes. Lordy, I hope they're tapes. I remember saying, I agree he's a good guy, as a way of saying I'm not agreeing with what you just asked me to do. Again, maybe other people would be stronger in that circumstance, but that's how I conducted myself. I hope I'll never have another opportunity. Maybe if I did it again, I would do it better.
Why do you believe you were fired?
I guess I don't know for sure. I believe I think the president had his word that I was fired because of the Russia investigation. Something about the way I was conducting it, the president felt created pressure on him that he wanted to relieve. Again, I didn't know that at the time, but I've watched his interview. I've read the press accounts of his conversations, so I take him at his word there. Now, look, I could be wrong. Maybe he's saying something that's not true, but I take him at his word, at least based on what I know now.
Do you know of any case where a person has been charged for obstruction of justice, or for that matter, any other criminal offense, where they said or thought they hoped for an outcome?
I don't know well enough to answer. And the reason I keep saying his words is I took it as a direction.
Right.
I mean, this is the President of the United States with me alone saying, I hope this. I took it as this is what he wants me to do. Now, I didn't obey that, but that's the way I took it.
You may have taken it as a direction, but that's not what he said.
Correct. That's why
he said, I hope.
Those are exact words, okay. Correct.
You don't know of anyone that's ever been charged for hoping something. Is that a fair statement?
I don't, as I sit here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you believe that you were fired because you refused to take the president's direction? Is that the ultimate reason?
I don't know for sure. I know I was fired. Again, I take the president's words. I know I was fired because of something about the way I was conducting the Russia investigation was in some way putting pressure on him, in some way irritating him, and he decided to fire me because of that. No. I can't go farther than that.
We have to come to a solution set. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Director Comey, thank you once again on behalf of the committee. This hearing is adjourned. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to make a brief statement. We're going to take no questions. Today's hearing was an important part of our investigation, the committee's investigation, into Russian involvement in the 2016 elections. It also enabled the American people to understand the massive amounts of stories that's been out there and to sort through those and to have an individual that can lay some factual context to it. This is nowhere near the end of our investigation. And I think it's safe to say today that next week we hope to work with Special Counsel Mueller to work out clear pathways for both investigations, his and ours, to continue, to work on deconfliction of witnesses and potential testimony. But we're more confident today that we can, through this process, work through a very bipartisan and thorough investigation that at the end of it answers many of the questions that the American people might have today.
Mr. Comey, you say you were disturbed the president lied. Anything to add to that?
Comey, are you relieved it's over?
Only public testimony. Will you testify again, Mr. Comey?